Welcome to Retro Machines. My name is Victor Bart and did you miss me? I didn't upload for a while, but now let's make a video. And it's okay with me, I'm still working, I'm not sick, and forget about that shit. Let's talk about this machine. I got this machine from Dave, and when I got it, it was a router. But actually it's a super micro server, and it's the smallest server that I gonna put in my rack. Actually it's quite slow, but the task I gonna give it, it's perfectly fine for it. So let's check what we have. The machine was sold as a router, an AXS card from Vasco, and actually it's just a super micro server. So yeah, it's really tiny. And we have a hard drive here. Just a normal spinning hard drive, 7200 RPM. That's more than enough. We have two sticks of DDR2, and there was 2 times 1 gigabyte in it, ECC, and I replaced it with 2 gigabyte non-ECC. That is fine for the new task. Here we have SATA, even IDE, floppy connector, a super small power supply. The motherboard has 2 network cards, VGA, COM port, USB, PS2, and the power supply is here of course. And I added an extra COM port here by some little case modding, because here we have an extra COM header and a normal PCI slot and a PCIe slot on a riser card. This is quite a nice machine. So here we have a quite nice 1U CPU cooler, LGA775, and it came with a single core Celeron, and I tried different CPUs, but it can't accept a quad core, it doesn't have enough cooling and power delivery. So I changed some CPUs and tried some dual core Celerons, dual core stuff, and right now I have a dual core CPU in it, but it's quite weak. So I checked the specifications, and one of the fastest CPU that support it is the Core 2 Duo 2.4 GHz, the E6600. So I also got this CPU from Dave Pennings. And when the machine still was a router, we had a dual port network card in here. So before the CPU swap, let's try out if the system still works. And I got my very nice Hercules gaming monitor also back in the studio. And this is an TFT gaming monitor from 2001, and the machine is not really silent because there's a big fan here. So right now we have a Core 2 Duo 2.2 GHz with a front side bus of only 800 MHz. I already installed an OS on it and it is running Debian, and with the hard drive it's quite slow, but it doesn't matter for the task I gonna give it. And maybe you see already a hint on my desk what I gonna do with this system. Huh, okay. What is happening here? Oh no! Wait, let's solve this. I'm not sure why it's like this, but at least I can now figure it out. System, no. Let's put the resolution lower and the rotation on none and 60 Hertz. Yeah, that looks better. Let's put the monitor back. That was funny. And we have just a super simple Debian workstation here. So let's turn it off, install the CPU and this tiny COM port expansion card, and I bought it in China for like under $10, like $6 or something. So let's see if it works, and hopefully it don't blow up the whole system. And thanks to my brother, I have now my network admin / sidekick in the studio. So let's swap the CPU. Let's get the camera a bit closer. And while I'm swapping the CPU, let's tell you the reason why I didn't upload that much. Because I had some different priorities, and that is a 1965 Unimog 404 with a diesel engine that I'm rebuilding. In the beginning of the year I decided I need to finish my off-roader because I want to go on trips with it. That took so much time that I didn't have any time to make computer videos. But I made some videos about my Unimog, but not on this channel, but on my channel Wheels. I will link it down in the description. So if you are interested in Unimogs, please check it out. I think it's a quite nice vehicle. So let's clean the CPU. And right now we have an E4500. So it's not that great of a CPU. But it works and has 2 cores. So let's put some Noctua anti-H2 thermal paste on the CPU. Because we want to have good cooling, otherwise this little fan will ramp up way too much. So now let's install this cheap Chinese expansion cards with 2 COM ports, and it's a PCIe R232-2S. So if I can find it, I will put a link in the description, of course. So let's put it in and see if it works. That's a tight fit because this COM port is interfering with this COM port. Maybe if I remove the riser, put it in like this. Yeah, this will work. Yeah, that's better. That's cool. We have now a COM port here, a COM port here, COM port here, and COM port here. And of course we have 2 USBs. So what could this system be? So no smoke or beeping or errors, and the motherboard is a Supermicro PDSBM-LN2. So let's see, LSPCI, the VGA, PC bridge, USB, PCI, ESA bridge, IDE, the serial controller. So it is detected. Okay, the CPU is detected, the Core 2 Duo 6600 2.4. Let's see if the COM ports are detected. We have TTIS0, TTIS1, TTIS2 and TTIS3. So we have the normal COM ports on IRQ 4 and 3 and the expansion card on IRQ 16 with the 2 ports. So that is working. The reason why I built this system with all the COM ports is with cables like this I can use the consoles on my Sun servers, like the 2 V100s and the V210, because they don't have a VGA display and run everything over the console output. And this machine will be the management machine for controlling these machines for the installation and troubleshooting and just having fun. So to control the Sun V100 and the V210, we're gonna use this Sun LOM light out management. And luckily I have the manual here, so I can see all the commands. How I can reset it, how I can power it on. So this is really valuable to have. So let's see if I can connect the cable LOM. It's a bit tight here with the camera. Fuck. This is not how it's supposed to go. My door is falling out. Let's remove it completely. At least we have now some more room to go into the server rack and connect the cable. So I put on the LOM connector. So let's see how long the cable is. It will reach my desk, but I have to move the management server. So let's connect the serial cable to the new PCI card. So I can directly check if it works. So now I'm gonna put in the power of the Sun machine. And as you can hear, the machine is already running. There are many programs that you can use, for example on the console Minicom or something in a Windows manager. But one that I really like is just Putty. I think it's on the S3 maybe. Yes, I have the OK prompt. Let's get the motor a bit closer. So let's get the manual. Power on. Yes, it's already powered on. Oh yeah, power off of course. No. Okay, I think the other one is already configured with an OS and this one isn't. Sun Fire V100 Ultra Spark 548 MHz, 256 MB of memory. Yes, this is the one that is not configured. That makes sense. So let's swap it. So I'm now powering on the second machine. LOM light starting up, CPU, memory, blah 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 blah. So we are now in the LOM console. So we now can do power on. And now the machine is starting in the background. So host power on. Sun Fire V100, 1 GB memory installed. CRUB, welcome to CRUB. Debian Linux is installed on this machine. And this is an installation that I did myself. And both machines has a CD-ROM player and you can easily boot from CD and install Linux or NetBSD or OpenBSD. I think this machine is booted from the CD. Because this is the installer. Select your location. Yes, I was not sure if this machine is installed. But as you can see, it is working. And you can switch from here to the LOM console. With the hash dot, you can go in the LOM. And then we can do like a power off. And now the machine is shutting down. And when we do a power on, it starts up again. Because the LOM stays active when the machine has plugged in power. So if you work on a Sun machine, always remove the power cables, otherwise you can have issues. So I went back into the LOM, and to go out of the LOM, you type console and then you are back into the OS. Personally, I like the approach with the 4 real COM ports and the little expansion card, and yeah, for me this is a nice solution. But to be honest, there's maybe a better solution than this card, because we now have since, what is it, 1997 or something, we have USB. So yeah, this is quite obsolete. It's funny that you still can buy it. So yeah, let me show you a solution that you can use with USB. For example, you can use the USB ports here and a hub, or you can put in a USB expansion card with 5 ports here and extra hubs on it. So if you want to have one box to control like a big array of Sun servers, maybe the USB route is fine. And instead of the cable with the COM port, you can buy these cables, and they have directly a USB port and also the RJ45 that you can put in the Sun server. So this is also a great solution. So you have choices. Do you want to have the old school COM port route or the USB route? And if you have only one server, this cable is pretty handy, because you can just plug it into your laptop, install a terminal program like Putty, and do the same thing. So it's time to put this tiny little micro mini super micro 1U server into my rack. And to be honest, I'm gonna be a bit lazy today because done. I'm not sure if I'm gonna put it here in my rack or on a different position. I'm probably gonna rearrange my rack or maybe put this in the back, but then it's more difficult to put in the cables, but also here it's difficult to put in the cables because this one is very short and these are all long servers. So maybe it will end up later in the top or something, and I need to figure out my KVM switch that is in the back of the rack, and that's a very old one, and then find a monitor solution. So I have some more work to do on my rack, but for now this is a nice addition in my Homelab, and my file server is running great. And if you want to know more about this machine, in the description I have a playlist with the whole build and a lot of info about ZFS, and it is running Procmox and it's just a great build. Thank you Dave for the really obsolete hardware, but in this function the dual core with Linux and 4 GB memory and a hard drive is more than enough. I can SSH over the network into it and then control the machine, so I have remote management, and it's just fun to use a little machine like this again. And it's tiny and light and low power, and yeah, I like it. Let me know in the comments what kind of videos do you want to see on the Sun V100s. Maybe an installation video where I install Debian or a NetBSD. Are you interested in that? And what kind of role would you give this little super micro server? Thanks for watching, and if you like to support me, you can support me monthly on Patreon or use my Amazon affiliated links.